So I know it's been a hot minute since I've made a video. I've been crazy busy this summer, but I finally had a day, I was free. And of course, there's nothing going on in the game. It's a Cult's Invitation right now and Balancing on Trials, which I think are two of the most boring events. I made a video about Balancing on Trials recently, literally saying that I can't complete it because I forget about it. And a Cult's Invitation, it used to be fun, but now it's just the same battle 30 million times, and that's just not fun to me. But I have some clips ranging from 2 years old to stuff I recorded a couple weeks ago that I just wanted to talk over because I've had this idea for a long time, and I don't think I've ever made a video about that. And it's called Neomonsters Sandbox. I based this off of, if you guys have ever played Bloons Tower Defense, there's a sandbox mode in that where you have unlimited money, you have unlimited space, you can place however many towers you want and upgrade them as much as you see fit. And I would love some sort of Neomonsters version of that. What that means, first and foremost, is you have every monster unlocked. So that means first forms, second forms, evolved forms. You have full access to secret skills. You have full access to mythics. Every mythic, every legendary, every super epic, every epic, and every monster with less stars than that, you have, no matter what. You just have them. And you have all of them +9 with full capabilities to, like you can when you have any regular monster +9, you can increase or decrease their entrance speed and the seconds reduction of their moves. And you can make, I guess you can still keep it 16. I don't really care about the team slots, but you still have team slots, so you can still make teams with these, every monster in the game. And I think this is really just a place that ideally for me that I can just go and test stuff out. So having every monster in the game, if I'm curious about something, I can just throw that monster into a team and go try it out. And then I think something unique that I wish was in this game is you could also build the enemy team. So if I wanted to see how fast I could get every enemy monster to 10,000 seconds, maybe every enemy monster is a stun absorber monster or something like that. A place where you can make your own team and make the opponent's team, which gives you already so much versatility in testing things and in sort of figuring things out about monsters, figuring out how strategies work, and stuff like that. Now, on top of this, I would love for you to be able to make enemy teams that are bigger than the usual, 20 monsters? No, it's not 20, it's 16, obviously. Make enemy teams that are bigger than that. So if you want to see what happens if you take in Garden Fairy Violet and, Torrentide into a team of 40 Tenebrises, then you could just make an enemy team of 40 I just want a place that has infinite capabilities, infinite creative possibilities, and I just want that to be a game, whether it would be a separate app or some form of special tab in Neomonsters. I just really want this sort of ability to experiment and unleash all of my creative freedoms. Do you know how much easier getting the infinite attack power Persephia or seeing how much damage I could do with that focus energy blast? Do you know how much easier that would be if I had this this game, Neomonsters Sandbox? It just opens up so many capabilities that I wish I had. Another thing I would like to do is, on top of being able to increase and decrease the bonus of a monster, I think you should be able to increase and decrease the buff of a monster. Maybe right next to the +9, there's a slider that can buff and debuff your monster. So when you're making, for example, the enemy team, and you say, I wonder what would happen if I were to take this take this specific team that I just made with these monsters into level 1000 of Ultimate Challenge. Then you make the enemy team and you pull the slider to 200%, so they're 200% buffed, or you pull the slider to 500%, and I'm sure there's a maximum number, and maybe it goes in intervals of 25% to make the math easier or something like that. I don't know how game developing works, but something like that where you can increase the buff of monsters and then take your team into that team that you just made with the buffed monsters just to test stuff out. Like, I think that would be so cool just to see how teams fare against buff monsters. Like, I would love to see like how buffed an enemy needs to be before they start surviving, you know, like a Bloodthirst or a Petal Storm or something like it's just out of curiosity. I just want to be able to have that freedom to solve all of these like creative problems and questions that I have in my head, you know? And I think obviously if this were a thing, I would want the ability to also just make a random enemy team. Clearly we know the game has that capability because pretty much every PvE battle is a random enemy team. So there should be a setting in Neomonsters Sandbox where you can just set it to that so that it makes a random enemy team rather than you having to make your own. But if you do want to test something out, like how would this specific monster with these specific monsters on the battlefield handle this situation if my enemy had this? So then that's your question. So you go make your team with those specific monsters, and then you make the enemy team have that. Like you don't have to worry about the buffs or the bonuses or anything because you're just testing monster interactions. But then if you're like, okay, that was pretty good, now I want to test this team against a regular PvP team, then you set the random team generator or whatever it would be in this hypothetical game to use the same algorithm that Neomonsters uses already when you test your PvP team and it creates a random PvP team. Like, I would just love an app like this, and you can obviously, it would have access to every event, so you can go try Balancing on Trials Hell mode with a certain team. You can go try level 20 of Tower Challenge, Showdown Tower, that's what it's called, with a certain team. Or you could go to Island Challenge and like have like unlimited redrafts, so you can just make a team that you want with Island Challenge and take that into like level 200 or something like that. And maybe there's a setting where, I don't know, do you guys see where I'm going with this? I really hope I explained it well, because I do think, again, I'm not a game developer, but I feel like this isn't something that would be like totally out of the question for them to make. Because I haven't listed a single thing that is like impossible to happen in the current game. You know, like there have been teams that we've played against before as players that have multiple of the same monster, even 4 of the same monster in the front line. Like, have you ever done a Super Challenge Battle Extreme? Like, that already exists. So clearly it's not like against the coding that you can put 4 of the same monster in a team. We've seen battles where you have the Ultra Evolved form and then the second form and the first form all in the same battle of a monster. We've seen battles where monsters are buffed. We've seen battles where you have X number of enemies to defeat. That's more than 16. So I feel like it's not difficult really at all to make this a thing. And I think the only thing that would stop them from wanting to make it a thing is because of all of the knowledge and like creative freedom it would give us, especially people like me who really care about these questions. Maybe they don't want the questions answered, or maybe it'd be too OP to like have every monster and find out every hidden interaction of the game. I don't know. I really don't see why this would be a bad thing. In fact, I don't see how this couldn't be a good thing. That's kind of the same. I just said the same thing twice, but you get it. I would love for this to happen. Neomonsters Sandbox is like my biggest dream. It has been forever. You guys know me. I love breaking the game, and this really just gives me infinite capabilities of breaking the game, you know? So I just wish this existed. I wish there was a way that Neomonsters had resources to actually make this a thing. And if you had to pay for it, if I had to pay $5 for Neomonsters Sandbox, I would. If I had to pay 20, that's pushing it for a phone game, but I would. I 100% would. And if Neomonsters, if you're watching Zigzag Game, if you want to reach out to me and ask me any questions, I'll do it. Like, I will answer any questions you want. I will do whatever I have to do to make sure this becomes a thing. But I just thought I would make a video and talk about it because I think it's a really cool idea and I've never heard anybody like think about it before. So that's about going to do it for this video. I just threw in like random clips, like I said, that I've had recorded for who knows how long. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this idea in the comments. And if anybody else, you know, has other ideas that they could implement into this game, if anybody has contact with anybody at Zigzag Game and wants to get this on their radar, like, I'm down with that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the lack of content lately. Like I've said, I've been super busy this summer, but I'm trying to get videos out as much as I can. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Also, just real quick, I felt bad using all these clips and not letting this one finish out, so I put it on 20 times speed. That's it. Bye.